If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives, and don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review. Thanks to Tantaley for sponsoring today's episode. Tantaley has everything you need for your next self-care moment, with a wide range of high-quality companion dolls to fit any taste. So make sure to check out Tantaley and use code RUBYDAY to get 12% off your purchase. Realism redefined. You deserve the best experience. So lifelike, you'll be amazed at how real they feel. Welcome back, listeners. This is Love Shot. I'm Ruby Day.
And I'm Olivia.
In the real world, I run into people. I talk to them about all kinds of things because I'm a curious kitten. I want to know. If I'm not having the experience, then I want to know what it's being like for other people.
Right.
And that's what I'm finding. People are so busy in today's modern dating that it's kind of a touching base.
They're just really looking to have companionship.
Yeah.
Or they're looking for a consistent partner. Or sometimes they're just looking for a play friend. I'm looking for a play friend. That I've been doing. I stay away from the people looking for one-night stands. I'm not into that. That's not my thing. I want to invest in something that at least we get to know each other, because honestly, the sex gets better when you get to know somebody other than that one night. I'm not saying I haven't had one-night stands. I have. However, and they can be wild and hot,
they can be
but
great.
it's like it ends there and there's no more.
Now, see, I've had consistency that it fizzles out and it's like, hey, this was much better as a one-night stand.
Well,
because the repetition by the third time.
NRE wore
It's
off.
like, well, no, it's not even about the NRE. It's like the fuck's not that good.
Yeah.
Like,
I hear you, honey.
The first time was great. The second time was, hey, it wasn't too shabby. The third time was like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah. Well, I've had those too where you're just like, okay, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. It's not going to work. And, but I try to really vet that stuff out so I don't get in those situations. But you never know. You never really know.
It still can happen.
It still can happen. And I've had it happen. I had it happen with a relationship last year that it fizzled out, and it was like, nobody's fault. It just happened. It just fizzled out.
Yeah, it's like no foul, no harm.
No,
it just went its course. And
and everybody's amicable about it. It's like it just kind of like, okay, and so.
Now that's good because I've actually had dating situations where the other person doesn't realize it's fizzled.
Yeah.
And I'm having to have that awkward conversation of like, oh, honey, I don't feel the same way. Like it fizzled out for me.
Yeah.
No offense, you're a great person. I enjoyed it, but those same feelings didn't hold on for me.
Well, I know you have a lot of lifestyle experience, a lot of poly experience and stuff like that. And that's probably another thing you'd really like about Field is it has a lot of those things. I mean, I dated a couple on there. It's easy to date
that's
couples.
Really cool
you can
that
date
you can find couples as well as singles.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to date couples, you can even date foursomes. I mean, there's like couples that are in constellation with each other.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're telling me that my entire bucket list is on this one app?
It could be.
I mean, that's like, what?
And you don't see that on a lot of apps. At
No,
least I haven't run into
don't.
that. I haven't even run into that.
That's gold.
It is. Well, it's definitely different.
For the dating experience, that's gold because you get to try out a whole bunch of different things and figure out what you really like.
Yeah, you do. And that's
where
honestly,
always before you had to go into some lifestyle to have those experiences.
You did.
But now I can just go out in the everyday real world and get it. What the fuck? Where have I been? I am so missing out.
Well, times have changed. I mean, they really
times
have. I mean,
changed.
I know you got into lifestyle stuff like a long 20 years ago.
Long
or something
time
like
ago,
that.
but I'd also pick up people at the grocery store
Right.
and have what the lifestyle was providing. I'd pick up people in real life in everyday mundane locations and have a similar experience.
Yeah. I've had guys
so I didn't have to go into the lifestyle.
Yes.
It's just I was doing this behavior in normal everyday life before it was ever normal everyday life.
Well,
and a bunch of my friends were like, that's swinging. There's a lifestyle for that.
Right.
And I was like, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
I
really?
had a similar introduction
I'm
myself.
like, no, I'm not a lifestyler. They're like, oh, no. you're acting exactly like the lifestyle provides.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's gone back.
Well, there's a lot of people
to an everyday normalized, because that's just human sexuality.
It is human sexuality.
That's just being human and breathing and being alive. And
Right. Well, I think, a lot of it too, I see a really big trend here lately since getting back into the dating world myself in the past year. A lot of ethical non-monogamy.
And I am so down for ethical non-monogamy.
There's so much of that. There's actually, I see more of that than I see people wanting to be monogamous anymore.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just fair. To me, that's just people being mature enough to recognize what they're looking for, what they have time allotment for, and what they have emotional energy for.
Well, it's just different. Like I said, you got to know my best advice with modern dating, especially dealing with these apps or anything, is figure out what you want first. Figure that out.
But what if you don't know what you want? Like you haven't had enough experience.
You got to go experiment.
To know.
You got to experiment. But if you have experience, figure out what it is that you're wanting, and maybe it's just ask yourself this. I get you not having experience, but the better you understand what you're looking for right now. What you're looking for right now.
Whatever that is, even if it's an experience.
Right. And it's just say that. There's people on there that literally say, I'm just looking for this type of an experience. Can somebody help me out? Like literally, that simple.
Dude.
Yeah.
I always wanted to walk into a room and say, hey, I'm looking to have da-da-da-da-da, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I want a gangbang, or I want a threesome, or I want a one-on-one with a girl, or, and be able to walk in a room, raise my hand and say that, and I have all this selection.
Right, and that's one thing I think that's what makes Field kind of really good about that, because everybody's really upfront about, I'm just looking for this, and they're real upfront.
This is so up my alley.
Yeah, I think you would really like that one. But it's really nice that you have that kind of smorgasbord to look at. But that's why I said, if figure out what experience you're wanting to have at that moment and put it out there on any dating app that you have, and guess that, because you're going to be more happy. You're going to get a better connection. You're going to have a better experience because you're automatically connecting up with somebody who says, I'm wanting that too. And it's out there. I mean, there's every combination in the world.
And it sounds like it takes that awkward fumbling conversation.
It does. Yeah.
Kind of puts it off to the side.
Yeah.
And allows you to just be upfront and say it in your bio and just lay it out on the table. Here's what it is. This is me. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm interested in.
Yeah,
I can't say dating from even current experience.
Right.
It's not always that way in person.
Oh, no.
I don't know if that's because online has created this transparency. Mm-hmm. One of the few positive things that have come out of online social media type stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so refreshing to hear that's what society's evolved to.
Well,
or sector
not on all of them,
of
but
society
some of them,
has evolved
some
to.
of them have.
Honey, even if it's 10%, that was a lot more than what it used to be.
Right.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah, and I mean, it is nice to have it that way. And I mean, like the other day, I ran across a guy reached out and we connected, and he was real upfront. It's like, hey, I'm married. I have kids, and my wife and we date solo. Yeah. And she has her own profile, and I could verify it, and she is dating solo as well.
Cool.
And he goes, I'm looking for something, every couple weeks. And I'm looking to go out dancing and get to know somebody and have some playtime and go do some things, because my wife is not into dancing. She's not into going to the beach. She's not into going to the lake. And I'm looking for somebody to do that and have playtime. So it was like a dual thing. It's another friends with benefits kind of situation, but it's actually a friend with benefits that wants to have a friend to go do something with. Active friends with benefits. Right. And I think that's what he actually called it. I want an active friends with benefits where you're doing something out of the bedroom and in the bedroom.
Right.
And I was like, that could work for me. I could be up something like that. But I think that's the other thing, too, that what I like about where they put those on the profiles, it makes you feel like versus, I would wonder if this guy's cheating. Is he cheating? But he had his wife's profile on there.
E&M.
It's E&M, ethical non-monogamy. And, her profile's on there, too. You can reach out and, blah, 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 check it out and verify.
I'm digging
it. You can see, and she's over there, too. Hey, we're married. And we're dating solo, and this is what she's looking. She's looking for something entirely different
Yeah.
than what he's looking for.
I'm digging
it. So everybody's doing their own thing. And
You're
trying
making
to find
me
their
want to
thing.
sign up to Field right now.
Right.
Like,
I know. I'm not even being
fuck
paid
my
for
projects.
this. Yeah.
I've got another interest. This is my
Right,
new project.
right.
Now I'm going to start
Yeah,
dating.
yeah.
Or be actively dating.
Right.
I'm always open. If I
Yeah.
meet people and I run across them, back in my brain's always going, ooh, I get along
Right.
with you. We get along really well. I'm kind of jiving with this. Hey, you want to go grab coffee sometime?
Yeah.
You know, that's me. And I've always been that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So I've never been shy to engage with people in real life
Me
in that
neither.
manner.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, I can sit in my PJs on my couch
Yeah.
and do all this.
Yeah, but it's
without-
addictive. It's addictive.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my God, you'll
I'm
just be in there.
sure.
Just, I mean, sometimes you have to just put it down.
It's like disconnect.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's still going to be there when you come back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Take
yeah.
a break.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I mean, does this kind of oscillate for you? Like, you have times where you're like really into it and really kind of focused,
yeah.
and then you're like, okay, I need a break. I can't do this right now.
I have that.
And so
with,
your dating experience is kind of an oscillation, and
It is.
how's that work for
It is
you?
it's very much an oscillation especially with dealing with the dating apps. I mean, you just
wondered.
because the thing is, you get excited about it and you dive in and you spend way too much time at sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And then you kind of burn yourself out a little bit, or you're just maybe you're trying to find that perfect date and it's not connecting up. So you get a little frustrated and you're just like, okay, I'm taking a break. And so I think a lot of people do that too. I mean, I even see people on there literally say, I'm taking a break right now or something like that. But
put it up on a billboard.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break right now. I'll be back in 2 months.
Yeah, but for me, it's like too, if I've got something regular right now happening, so I haven't been so motivated either to be on the dating app because I got a regular weekly guy that I see, and we're having the friends with benefits dating experience kind of thing, and I'm pretty happy with that one. So it's really taking care of me. And I don't know how much time I have. I might have one more day a week I could fit in there, but I just haven't so far. I haven't found anybody that has that kind of schedule,
trying to figure that
or
out.
just trying to fit them into that schedule situation. I think it is about scheduling, and the modern dating is all about scheduling. But yeah,
Let me put you in my calendar and
Right.
planner. Okay, I have this day free. You good for that? No,
Yeah.
no. Okay. Well, let me see if I can move some things around.
Oh yeah. No
Okay, I
doubt,
can
no
do
doubt.
this day. I can finagle that.
Yeah.
And I cannot,
And it's like that in the beginning, and even sometimes during the early phases of it, until you get a routine going
Yeah.
down and you just kind of know. But overall,
And see, I never
yeah.
knew if that was kind of a adulting thing or if it's just modern time.
I think it's
thing.
modern times at this point in time. I know I have a busy schedule. I know you
Yeah.
have a busy schedule. I mean, everybody I talk to is busy schedule, and but yet we still want to have some time for some companionship,
Socialization,
some socializing, some loving,
connection.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so,
feed the body, self-care.
And I tell everybody,
Because I kind of look at dating as a form of self-care.
it is. It can be.
You know, it's to rejuvenate my cup, help rejuvenate someone else's cup.
Right.
Take a moment that's not my daily routine.
Yeah.
Kind of break that cycle.
Right.
Have engagement. You know, so
Yeah.
I kind of look at dating as a self-care mechanism.
Yeah. I think
A
that's a
lot
good
of
way to look
times.
at it.
Then it's like, hey, I need a break.
Yeah.
This self-care is not quite working the same way that it used to.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take a step away and go do some other type of
Oh,
self-care.
and you should. You really should. When you get to those moments, that's what I have found, because if you push through,
Yeah.
you get really frustrated and it'll burn you out.
But
And I
isn't
had
that true of anything?
Oh my God, it could be. Yeah, it really is. But I remember early on when I started these dating apps, I did that, and I got so frustrated with some of it that I literally took 3 months off. I was like,
So
okay, I'm
that's
done.
what
3
the
months.
irritation was for that time. I wondered what was going on.
Oh, I was just, it's just, well, I had a bunch of guys that were leading me on, getting me pent up, and they never had any intention.
Bastards.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh.
I mean, jeez.
And I think I got a bunch of fakers too. 'Cause
That's
that was the other
a
thing I
pull
was
your
having.
hair out. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was having a bunch of fakers, and they were just fishing.
Yeah.
And that's frustrating. And I started feeling like, oh, everybody's fake. Everybody's fake. So I was like, I just left it. I walked away for 3 months. I'm like, not doing that. And then I came back and came at it a different way, decided to vet a little bit differently, change my profiles up so I'd attract a different thing and not attract that. And so it's trial and error. Dating's trial and error. Your profiles are trial and error. The dates are trial and error until you find something. But I will say, you got to keep trying. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything anyway. And that's my best advice. Just put yourself out there and just keep trying, because eventually you'll find something, because there's somebody out there for everybody.
Yes, there is. Literally. Mm-hmm. If you think you are the most undesired person, honey.
Now, there's somebody out there that's their thing.
You just haven't found or come across or been able to present yourself to attract the right thing. But baby,
or the thing you're looking for.
There is someone out there for everyone. I literally had a girlfriend who I never thought, she was so eccentric.
Yeah.
Her personality was just kind of unusual.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say she was the most attractive, but she was a good person.
Yeah.
Like, you wanted to see her find somebody.
Yeah.
Like, your heart almost broke for her.
Right.
You know what? She found someone.
Yeah.
And he was just as odd, just as peculiar as she was in his own way.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, see?
Yeah.
There is someone out there for everyone.
Like I said, if
she can do it, then anyone can.
And that is the truth. You guys, girls, everybody put yourself out there, and you just have to keep trying. That's it. Just keep trying. Yeah. And when you're feeling a little burned out, take a break. Take a break and walk away until you really want to get back in there and try again. And that due diligence is how you actually find a date, how you find a play friend, how you find a friends with benefits, and that's how I did it. You just got to do diligence. But even a girl like me, it took me a while to find it. Yeah, it takes me a while to find it.
Yeah, but it didn't. It really didn't in the whole spectrum of things.
Yeah, if you look back at it in the big picture,
we've chatted about this off and on, and just a handful of months, and you were already finding people.
Yeah.
And it was like, it just took some sifting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of time. We talk about dating and girlfriend matters and stuff like that. And how like the other day I was talking to Ruby going like, I had this guy had this reaction. And it's like, what, have you had this happen before? And you're like, oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, this is what I found it means.
Yeah, and so you just, and I think that's too, having that shared collaborative understanding of an experience, because we all can run into aspects where something happens, whether you're communicating with them or you go on a date with somebody and you're like, I don't know what that means. And like something happened, I don't know.
Like, this is confusing me.
So talk to your guy friends, talk to your girlfriends, talk to everybody, see hey, do you know what this is like? I encourage that too, because that really has helped
I say get
me.
a consensus.
Yeah, get a consensus.
Because everybody's going to interpret it a little differently. But when you start hearing a pattern to what that interpretation is, that's when you're like, okay, that's what it is. I got it. Now I understand. Mm-hmm. Now I can have the right framework to go back in and continue dating.
Right.
And that is invaluable.
It is.
Invaluable.
It was the best thing I did was get other people's opinions on, have you experienced this? Because I with my life dating experience, I've run into things in the past year that I've never run into, and I didn't know, but I asked other people who are out there who've been dating, and they're like, oh, and when I got answers to the point that it was like, that makes sense, and so I was able to reframe it, and that kept me also from being like thinking it's me,
right?
Or like,
because that's what happens. You turn it in on yourself.
So
and
easy
darling,
to do.
I'm gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10. It's never about you.
No, right. It's always about
It's always about the other person.
Right.
They just may not be sharing what it is that's causing it for them.
Or they don't know how to articulate it.
Right.
That's just it. They just don't know
and
how to do
that's
that.
fair.
Yeah. And so I think I have had, by doing that and bringing my network of friends that I have and their dating experience, I've actually been able to get a better understanding. I've been able to vet better on the apps, and I have been able to have a better real world meetup, date experience, friends with benefits, and that's how I find them, and that's how it's worked for me. And I think it's a very, very effective way to do it.
That's awesome. That's exactly the type of experience.
Are you ready?
You're convincing me. You're convincing me. It's like, no, I need to put a couple projects on the burner and go test this out. Because now I'm really curious. Yeah. If you want to show us some love, donate at rubydaytv.com, the home of all my exclusives. And don't forget to leave the show a rating or a review.